Hello. Today I want to talk about some Battlefield 6 beta. And despite most of my gameplay in the past couple years being in ARPGs, like I'm a shooter player, and Battlefield is something I hold pretty dear to my heart. As far as my shooter journey goes, I think a majority of my time playing shooters has been in Battlefield. A lot of it in Battlefield 3, all the way back to like the Xbox 360 beta days, through playing it on PC, and then playing Battlefield 4 on Xbox, and then also on PC. And I probably put a few thousand, 4,000 or 5,000 hours into Battlefield 4, as well as playing a good chunk of 2042. I like to try and go in there and 100% the weapons in the game if I can. That's typically what I attempt to do in Battlefield games. You'll see on the screen behind me, just going through and showing that I did hit Mastery 20 with all the weapons. Not that it's a very huge accomplishment. The parameters by which you gain XP for Mastery are pretty negligible. It's just using the gun, doing damage, getting assists, whatever, getting kills. But I wanted to show that because I did try and experience all of the weapons in the beta before trying to draw any final conclusions. And like I said, that's typically how I judge a Battlefield game. The way I enjoy a Battlefield game is to go through and try to max out the weapons. And then after I max out the weapons, if I'm still just loving the game, I just continue to play with whatever I find to be fun. I'll go ahead and make the statement of the gun that I had the most fun with was the M4A1 carbine. And it's primarily because it had a tight grouping, high fire rate, it was a lot of fun. I don't really want to talk about what guns are good and what guns are bad in like the most generic terms. Everybody and their mother's making a tier list. I have no desire to do that. I wanted to talk about some of the things that I thought were pros about the beta, some of the things that were cons and potentially need to be changed for the future, and my opinion on whether or not the game's worth purchasing in its current state. And I guess I'll skip all the nonsense, I'll cut all the fat out. My opinion on whether or not you should buy Battlefield, if the game was full released today in its current state and just suddenly got all the maps and all the game modes and all of the other accessible options, would I recommend it? And the answer would be no. In its current state, I don't think it's worth $70. I think it's hard to justify $70 on a game that's just half-baked in some aspects, and not in ways that are unfixable. And I'm going to continue talking about, what I liked and disliked, and I think I want to start it off on a positive note and say, here are the things that I think are pros, because the list is pretty long. Coming from Battlefield 2042, I will say it's not difficult to find a lot of things in the game that are nice to see, things that should have been in Battlefield 2042 on its initial release, such as the goddamn scoreboard. Oh my god. Talk about a whiff in Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 6 launched with the appropriate scoreboard that we expect to see in a Battlefield game, because in a game about getting kills and progressing and assisting your team, you want to see what your kills, deaths, and assists are to know whether or not you're having an impact on the game. And so it's just, I wouldn't even call it a pro. I would just say it's an expectation that was actually fulfilled, and I'm glad they didn't try to do anything weird with that. I think that their class identity, they did a lot better job on in this one than in 2042. They didn't go for the Overwatchy kind of class systems. We do have field specs, which are Battlefield 6's, that's their attempt at having unique interactions between classes, so that there does feel like there's it feels like there's an identity, it feels like there's an impact to playing one class or another. I think they're nice. I hope they expand on it in the future, but I think it's a step in the right direction of giving people some sort of benefit that fits the stylistic, the play style or the gameplay loop of that class. And it's nice. It's things like not being able to be revived if a high field spec sniper headshots you with a sniper rifle. That is a really cool addition to the recon class. Stopping someone from being able to be revived is a pretty strong, a pretty impactful field spec, a pretty impactful thing to have on a class, and it is relegated to the sniper rifles, so it's not like you can put that on and then run an assault rifle. So it is still kind of balanced and restricted to the play style that would best fit. The engineer one is obviously insane. In the beta, you saw a lot of players proned on top of tanks. In this Battlefield, you're able to vault on top of vehicles, which is something that was nigh impossible in previous Battlefields. Like the vaulting mechanic did not interact with vehicles, so you saw a lot of people prone on top of vehicles, hiding behind the tank, the artillery part of the tank, and laying down and just permanently repair torching it. And when you hit your level 3 field spec, each class has effectively an ultimate ability, for lack of a better way to describe it accurately. And the Engineers was incredibly strong, getting this super boosted repair torch that repairs at a very high rate, and could out-heal multiple people rocket launchering the tank, as well as a tank shooting at it. It was limited duration. It's not like it was just now you permanently have this super juiced repair torch, but it was very, very powerful, and it definitely seemed to impact a lot of vehicle engagements. I will say that I also really enjoyed the slide and dive mechanics in the game. You can fall on your back if you are walking backwards and hit the prone key, which is really cool. Very clearly, like, there's some shooter aspects pulled from other successful FPS games, you know, such as Siege, for example. Rainbow Six Siege, players love to lay on their back. You have this dive and slide, which are very commonly implemented into Call of Duty games now, so I understand, like, the implementation of these mechanics was to, in some ways, placate those player bases, but I also think it was a pretty good implementation. The slide doesn't seem overly powerful. It's not like you are sprint, jump, dive, sliding, getting up, doing a backflip. It's not the Call of Duty crazy movement gameplay loop, and there's definitely a lot of like player recovery that happens where there is a kind of a delay before you can stand back up and start sprinting again after you dive. So it's not like this infinite diving gameplay loop. And so I feel like it's really cool. I feel like it thematically makes sense in an area of combat where there's rockets flying over your head and stuff exploding. Like that dive, in many points during the beta, actually was relevant to me not getting sniped as well. Like I'd see one of 700 scope glints aimed at me across the map, and I'd be running between rocks, and I would dive to the next rock, and I'd hear that sniper shot go right over my head as I'm covered behind the rock, and I was very happy to have the dive. The slide I started using much later. It's late into the beta to say this, but public service announcement, double tap crouch to slide. I don't know if the hints at any point in time tell you to do that in-game, but I was inconsistently sliding early on, and I wasn't sure exactly why, because I frequently will crouch down behind cover after sprinting, and sometimes I was just doing it, and it wasn't toward the end of the beta that I was like, oh yeah, double tap crouch, slide here, slide there, and it feels really nice. So I thought those were fun. They didn't seem gimmicky. They just seemed like a nice addition to the game. Mounting, incredibly strong. If you didn't see my clip, I have a shorts clip where I mounted up an LMG, and you can see that an LMG that is normally pretty inaccurate with high recoil and randomness just becomes an absolute laser beam. If you have a 200-pound or 200-round drum on there, excuse me, the thing is just absolutely absurd. Even at close ranges, it was like out-damaging everything because every shot was hitting because there was no anything to correct for. Hopefully that's one of the things that does get probably nerfed for the full release of the game. I do think it was incredibly strong. I think mounting as a system does belong in Battlefield, and I think it's really cool that you can mount on the sides and the top of things. However, I do think its final implementation needs to be a little bit better. The gun sounds in this game are incredible. Going back to like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, my biggest gripe with those games was actually I just hated the way the guns sound. They just didn't have weight to them. They sounded like BB guns or pellet guns, like powered by CO2, so it was like some of the clanking of metal, but the bullets didn't seem to sound like they had impact coming out or landing. And it was actually really nice to have some awesome audio. Like typically that would be what I would state is a weak side for a lot of the Battlefield games, but it was awesome. The maps as well, I think the map design is great. It's exactly what I want to see in Battlefield games. You have your big open rocky maps, you've got your nice city maps with good cover inside the towns, your more favela style city maps where there's like a lot of close range engagements, and it was really fun. There wasn't any really glaringly obvious choke points that are really annoying, because in Battlefield games there's usually one or two maps that are just absolutely painful to play because there is one choke point to get through which both teams are constantly fighting for, and so you just get this crazy battle of smokes, thermals, grenade launchers, and then on both sides, just 100 medics infinitely reviving people to just spray bullets down until eventually one person happens to sneak through and backcap an objective. And that's, in my opinion, very unfun gameplay, and I imagine there's a lot of other Battlefield players who would agree with that. I think another great part, another huge, awesome part of the systems implementations that they were attempting in Battlefield 6 in this beta is the cost system for attachments. It's really nice to see that they're trying to add a further impact to your attachment choice. So there is a cost to choosing attachments. The cost does seem to restrict you from just grabbing all the best attachments, which is awesome. I imagine that's what it's there for. And I think it's a great way for them to further balance stuff in the future to prevent, people from just going to whatever the objectively best or numerically best attachments are. So I think it's pretty sick that they added an additional cost impact to building your guns. So it feels really good. And there's probably a lot more pros that I could name and keep going on forever, but I want to cover some of the cons, and then I'll just let the rest of these clips play. They've been playing in the background now. It's just some of my clips from the beta, but the cons, the biggest cons, probably toward the end of the beta, I started experiencing some of the horrific performance issues. In the first weekend, I had no performance issues. I was streaming, recording clips, editing and uploading while streaming, doing a lot of things that are very CPU intensive, and it didn't have any negative impact on my system. I was staying steadily under 70% CPU usage, lower ends of the 50% GPU usage on a 3080, so now we're near like top-of-the-line hardware, and I had no performance issues the first beta weekend. But during the second weekend, I had some horrific issues, which some people said were solved by adding the config file, which enabled the rest of your CPU cores. I tried that. I tried changing performance settings. No matter how I lowered or changed my settings, it did not seem to affect my CPU performance at all. It was just heinous. And after a few games, it just went back to normal. I couldn't tell you how it was fixed or what fixed it, but for the few hours of gameplay that it was like maxing out my CPU, redlining my computer, and caused me to restart a couple times, I was not having fun. So I think it has to be noted that a lot of the player base was apparently having these issues too. I found countless articles about people trying to optimize or change settings and improve FPS, and my FPS for the most part, when I just let my CPU redline at dangerous temperatures and usage amounts, was fine. Like, I was getting upwards of 120 FPS. I run a 240 hertz monitor, and I was getting 240 FPS in a lot of cases, with the low ends being like 90, 95. So the performance was okay, but like the CPU impact is kind of sketchy, and it's kind of a red flag for like performance of the game, of course. Another big con of the game is gun balance. It has to be stated. Obviously, the information they can take from the beta will hopefully allow them to balance guns further. We all know that the pump-action shotgun is not balanced. Early on, I was like, okay, this thing is fine. When I was getting killed, once or twice a match from it, and then it very quickly picked up to being every other player is running shotgun, and 15, 20 meters out, you're getting one shot to the chest, like, consistently. And when I picked it up, and it was the last weapon that I got 20 mastery with, it was just like I was getting 15, 20 kills a game with the shotgun on accident. I'd hop into an objective, pull out the pump, and just fly through people. So it definitely is not fair. Some of the other guns had excessive bloom, which felt really unfun to play with. And I'm not talking about bloom after holding down the trigger for 25, 30 rounds. I'm talking about within your first 4 shots, you'd have an amount of bullet randomness that kind of didn't make sense. I'm okay with bloom in the game. I understand it's like a necessary evil. You can't just have every gun be a laser beam all the time. I would always rather err on the side of higher recoil that the players have to control over bullet randomness or having the bullets go somewhere that isn't where the crosshair is. But some of the guns seemed like there was just the dial was up to 12, and it was just my bullets were going anywhere except for my crosshair was. And so it was, those guns were a little bit frustrating to use. It felt like, despite my aim being dead on, I was just not hitting shots, and my opponents were often doing the same. Like, I'd just be in a firefight with a person for 30 rounds because at 100 meters, neither one of us could get one of our bullets to go where our crosshair was. Probably the largest reason why I wouldn't recommend paying $70 for Battlefield 6 right now is because we don't know what it's actually going to be like on launch. I love Battlefield. I've played pretty much every Battlefield that's been released for upwards of 500 hours, and Battlefield 2042 kind of burned me pretty hard with pre-ordering and playing and just not being delivered the experience that Battlefield franchises in the past promised. So I have no idea how Battlefield 6 is going to launch, despite the beta feeling really, really nice. If the balance changes don't come through and there's this wretched gun balance, and if there's performance issues that prevent 70 or 80% of the player base from playing above 30 FPS or cooking their CPU, then it's not worth it. So honestly, everyone should just cautiously wait and see what it looks like when it releases, and if it releases and everything turns out to be good, then I have no reason to doubt that this is going to be a long-staying Battlefield, as long as they continue to release updates for balances and adding new maps and weapons. Like, the core gameplay, I think, is freaking sick. I think Battlefield 6 looks like an awesome game, and if they do their part, as they did in Battlefield 4, for example, I think it'd be a sick game. But that's all the yapping I've got. The rest of the video is just clips of some of the clips of the beta. Most of it's first weekend. So yeah, if you just came to hear me yap, then thanks. Appreciate you for listening to some dude's opinions on a beta. Our two tanks are just rolling this one poor guy, but there's no room. There's no room. It's just it's just a tank sandwich. That is like the most disgusting curve I've seen yet. We took all the objectives and then just proceeded to not let them play.
We need defensive support to the marked objective.
Ah, damn it. Tried to get down.
Cover it! Get a rocket on it!
Got it.
Stop! Keep it up! Fire! Need help! All units! Mission is still on target! Good work!
Stepping into the fucking blender. This is absolute insanity. I'm just watching the minimap and layering down fire in the direction of bombs. Okay, that hit me and it didn't kill me. I don't understand. Okay. That lasted forever.
Battle! Reserve nothing!
regularly hip-firing LMG players, they're back.
There's a hostile sniper due west of your current position. You know what to do. We're attacking objective Echo.
Request overwatch! Grid as indicated!
Badass. That was a crazy round. I had so many fucking assists. Yeah, we just held that corner forever. It was nasty. Like right here. That point on the grid, wait, that point on the grid is like where we started holding that checkpoint and they couldn't move. And we won the game off of that. That's nuts. Spot players is recon, right? I actually think that's going to be giga easy.
Attack and target the objectives. Take ground and control it at all costs. Let's move.
I'm going to put down my motion detector around C, and I'm going to get like 150 spots this map. I'm at like 88 now. Fucked it up quick, dude.
We now hold more objectives. Keep pushing.
Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack.
Headshots, baby. Acquired on this thing. Oh my god, I've been here the whole time. That little rat. That little rat was prone to the bus.
Hostiles are attacking objective Echo. We've secured an early advantage.
Here you go. Motion detector.
Bravo under attack.
Oh, his fucking shotgun, man. It's so good. It's such a good option for the assault players. I don't feel like... It sucks to get killed by it, but like, it doesn't feel unbalanced to me.
Defensive position needed on the marked objective.
Let's move!
Hey, rooftop?
Under fire!
No, there's second story behind this guy. God, they have a dirty crossfire. The only way I can fight these guys is like on some weird angle like this.
Enemies are attacking objective Bravo.
Shit. I saw him try to dive and survive.
Be advised, enemy attack confirmed at Charlie. The enemy has secured more objectives. Let's rally and counter.
What is that? Oh, they're on the fucking rooftops. Ah, man, that's...
I spotted hostile heavy armor in our AO.
The rooftop gameplay on this map is getting a little obnoxious. Once like two people see it, everybody does it.
Targeting objective Delta.
Like that guy's...
Move to attack the marked objective.
I have a plan. It involves the tank being stupid though. Oh, well, it got somebody at least.
Objective Delta taken by hostiles.
Yes! I got the fucking tank! He killed me too late, I got the fucking tank.
Objective Charlie is in enemy hands. Be advised, the enemy now controls more objectives. Be advised, hostiles attacking Bravo.
What the fuck? Quad kill?
Hostiles are ahead of us, we need to hit back. Objective Delta has been neutralized.
What? This series of events is like the most Battlefield shit I've experienced so far. Oh my god.
Control objective Bravo.
Be advised, there are enemy rockets in your area.
God damn, dude. did
Enemy
so
still
much
holds
shit
more
here that I
objectives.
ran out of
We
ammo.
need to hit back.
Enemies are attacking objective Delta.
Bye-bye.
Enemy forces are taking objective Charlie.
However, I still love Engineer. Oh! Holy jump scare. My hand wasn't even on my keyboard when I mouse on me.
Run back!
Hostiles attacking objective Delta.
Oh my god, this thing does.
Contact! Taking fire! Who's got rocket?
Enemy attack confirmed at Charlie.
Hostiles are assaulting Charlie.
He's just like trying to ninja type weapons. Goodbye.
The enemy are attacking objective Echo.
We're targeting objective Delta.
Our forces have neutralized Delta. Our troops have secured more objectives. We're tracking enemy tanks north of your location.
I ran out of ammo. God damn, I put in some fucking work
Controlling
there.
the fight. The enemy is taking objective Bravo. The enemy has secured Charlie.
Oh shit. Well, had to send it. Oh shit. No, he's dead. Get my medic.
We're attacking objective Alpha.
Oh, the shotgun of death and doom and destruction. I knew it was coming for me.
Where's the objective?
Nah, you don't get to get away with that. Whatever, team.
Our attack on Bravo
Our
is
team is
underway.
moving like a unit. It's incredible.
Keep this up and the fight is on. Let's get it done. We've neutralized objective Bravo.
This is so epic. There it is. Oh. SMG completed. SMG 1 at least. I think there's only one other SMG. Yes. The PWZA2.
We need defensive support on a
It's an
marked
MP7.
objective.
This thing looked insane to go along. I feel like every other person I saw was using this thing.
Find cover! Let's move!
Hostiles now hold objective Alpha.
The enemy have taken more objectives.
Quite attack mode.
Be advised, enemy attack
God, this thing
confirmed
is
at
a fire
Charlie.
rate.
Nice. Target down.
Goodbye! Triple kill, quad kill, tank buster. Nice, dude. These boys have just spawned on him too, I'm sure. Man, that was a sexy game.
Our attack on Bravo is underway. Be advised, hostile attack launched on Delta.
Bravo's been secured. Delta's been lost.
Right, we have secured more objectives. Let's hold it.
Action out.
Move to attack the marked objective. Attack support on the marked objective. Be advised, the enemy has control of Echo.
I got eyes on enemy tank.
We've taken back objective control.
I killed so many of them on the heavy machine gun. Excuse me? Jesus, I'm hitting space and it's doing nothing.
We're targeting objective Delta.
Be advised, enemy sniper confirmed, bearing north.
Why me, dude? Why is it me? There's 17 people on site.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Stay with me.
Objective Delta neutralized.
Let's go.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Delta has been secured. We need attack support to the marked objective.
I spotted a hostile sniper in our mission area.
Objective Bravo neutralized. Objective Charlie has been seized by hostiles.
There's nothing else I could do for this
Support
objective.
the attack.
I have dumped literally all of my ammunition into these people.